Hello, I'm just waiting for the first comment to make sure everything's okay with the broadcast. So come on in and say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you'll let me know if everything's okay, that is very helpful to me. So I am Lisa Brown with Ink and Inspirations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you live from Southwest Missouri on this hot Thursday evening, and it is probably about 100 degrees, or it feels like it outside. And I know some areas are experiencing much hotter weather than that. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Pam. Thanks for chiming in. Great, great. Okay, we're going to get started here. Thank you for being here. I'd love for you to comment. Let me know what you think. Answer my questions if I ask them. And if you enjoy the video, if you will give it thumbs up, like it, share it, that really helps me. Okay. Hi, Karen from Australia. Thank you for joining me again. Hey, Jerry, long time no see. Thanks for watching. Okay, yeah, it's hot, Karen. Let me get to my desktop and we'll get started. Okay, first we're just going to cover a little business here. The cards that you're going to see tonight are my August monthly online card class. And these, the class is free to watch to give you ideas and to inspire you. But if you would like the card kits sent to you, I'll mail them to your home. Just go to my online store and make a minimum purchase of $45 or more before shipping and tax, and use the host code that you see up there on the screen. And the deadline is Monday, the end of the day, this coming Monday, August the 7th. And the reason that is because I have to order supplies to make sure I have enough to make the kits to send out. And that's done in a timely fashion. So thank you for helping me on that. So anyway, we're going to get started. But let me tell you about the big sale that's going on that many have already taken advantage of. All of our kids collection kits are on sale. These are great for gifts. They're great for you when you want to craft, quickly and easily, or take it when you travel. There is a new kit that just came out, and it's called Festive Tags, and I've just ordered 3 of them and probably will order some more. But just really cute tags for Christmas, and it's a great idea to get started on it now. But there are friendship cards, birthday cards, masculine looking themed cards that have like a world on them. I forget what the name of it is, but I know my friend just ordered one last night. So anyway, hey Kathy, thanks for tuning in. So anyway, don't forget to check that out when you go to the online store. And remember, with that purchase, minimum purchase of $45 or more, I'll send you the kits for the cards you're going to see tonight. So before I start the kits or the cards, let me just go over the sets that I'm using. Now, the things with the kits is I can't send stamped images, okay? But you can substitute with what you have at home, all right? Or what you would like to order. So the first one I'm using is this one. It's Dainty Delight, okay? And it was a very popular set last year, carried over. And I'm using this on the first card to show triple time stamping, okay? And then I'll be using this beautiful artistically inked stamp set and the coordinating dies. Now, if you don't have the dies, or even if you don't have the stamp set, you just need some floral images, okay, and a sentiment. And if you have this set and don't have the dies, you can fussy cut and cut them out like that. I have been doing a lot of fussy cutting lately. I just love to do it. It's fine. It doesn't take that long, and you can make beautiful cards by cutting out images. So that'll be our second card. And then the last card is this new to me stamp set, Just My Type. If you follow me on Facebook, you have seen me post about my typing skills I do okay because I have to blog, I have to post and do all the things, but like I put on there, if you ask my sister and my daughters what my technique is like, they would just shake their heads. So, but it gets the job done. So I love this typewriter. It reminds me of my mom. She worked in an office, administrative assistant, or secretary is what they used to call them. And so she was a typist. And a lot of you said that you took shorthand in high school too. And I remember she used to write lists in shorthand when she didn't want us to know what she was writing. So anyway, just a little bit of trivia for you. Okay, let's get started on the first card. Okay, we're using Dainty Delight. And here is the card. So I kept it simple with the color, but if you've never tried this technique, it's super easy and it's got a punch. Okay, it just is a little wow factor for your cards. So let's get started. I have the supplies here cut and in an envelope like you would get if you qualified for the kits. So I have a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of Highland Heather cardstock, and it's folded in half, okay, at 4 1/4. That's the card base. I'm going to go ahead and give it a good crease, and we can take our little Post-it off. Hey, Carol. And then I have these 3 pieces of basic white that we're going to use to do our triple time stamping. So I have my stamps mounted, and I'm going to get a piece of scratch paper to put on my desk to kind of protect my work surface. All right, so I'm going to put this aside, and we're going to work on our stamping first, okay? So here's the ribbon that you would get in the packet. And I have the other pieces as well. So I have a 2 by 3 piece, a 3 by 3 piece, okay, and a 4 by 5 1/4 piece. And so we're going to put these together temporarily so that we can do our stamping, okay? I remember when I first saw this technique, I thought, how did they do that? And so, but you're just going to stack up these cards, okay, in the manner that you want to stamp them. I know that's hard to see white on white, but I've got the 1, 2, 3 layers, okay? And then it's a good idea to kind of use temporary adhesive to kind of hold them and keep it from sliding. But I have, no, I'm going to use that one. I have our seal. This one with the dark blue is Seal Plus. It's a stronger adhesive than the Seal. And this is still pretty strong. So I'm going to kind of use my embossing buddy to kind of take some of the stickiness away. And then we're going to stamp. So I'm just going to put just a little bit, get it going here. A little bit there. And I'm going to, you can do this and with your finger. And I'm going to tap this a little bit. It's like an anti-static powder that you use in embossing, but you know, there are multiple uses for it. Okay, and so I'm coming about 1 inch from the edge. It's really up to you. You don't have to measure or anything. You just want all 3 pieces to fit. Okay, so this one I'm taking, and I'm going to touch it a little bit like that to get some of the stickiness off and tap it a bit. And then I'm going to layer this. I'm going about 1 inch again and coming about a 1/2 inch or so from the edge. Okay, so I'm trying to see. I'm sitting today instead of standing while I craft. And so hoping I'm getting that straight. So now, let me take this away and put it on this darker foam mat. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to start with the largest image first, and I do need this. And so I'm using this largest floral image from the Dainty Delight stamp set, and I'm using Memento Black ink because I'm going to do a little bit of coloring with my Stampin' Blends. So I'm just inking that up. And when you have a big stamp like this, it's easier to ink if you lay it flat and then use your ink pad and tap it over top. Okay? All right, so I'm going to come over here and I am going to stamp it, and it's going over all 2 layers for sure. Okay, and so let me go. Sometimes I overthink it. I thought, is that where I want to put it? But yeah, it's good. Okay. So you see how it's on all 3 layers, and you have a little space there. That's okay. We're going to work with that. Okay, so next I'm going to take one of the smaller images, this one, and again, I'm going to ink that in Magenta ink, and we're going to stamp this one a couple of times. First, I'm going to put it over here. Okay, and then I'm going to put it right down here, and I'm going to come down a little lower with it. Who has made cards with this technique? Anybody? I haven't done it. It's been a long time since I've done it. Okay, I'm going to come about right there. Don't overthink it, Lisa. Just do it. Okay. And then, see this little space here? I decided to use this little stamp from the set. Ink it up. And come about right here. And it just barely shows, but it kind of fills in that white space. And hindsight, if I were doing this again, it doesn't matter, but I would probably move this stamp a little farther toward the edge. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to leave that because I want to stamp my sentiment. Now I'm going to take them apart. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp the sentiment, the best is yet to come. Oh, Karen, yeah, I know. Sometimes if, we try so many different techniques and things, it's like if you don't do it, you have to get a refresher, right? Okay, so I'm going to test this and make sure I've got it straight. Yeah. Put it right there. Pretty good. Okay. So now what I'm going to do to separate the layers on the front of the card is, okay, we're going to layer it up here in a bit, but you see how it can match exactly there? Okay. So there's a decision you can make here. You can go ahead and color it now, or you can wait and put it together and color it. That's how I do it. Okay. I don't like to have these little pieces and things there because I don't know actually what's going to show after I get my black layers there. So I have a 2 1/4 by 3 1/4 black layer, and then a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 to go behind these top 2. I decided not to put it behind that last layer because I wanted more of this Highland Heather to show. Okay, so now we're just going to take this and layer this up so we can want it to stick now. So we're going to use some of our liquid glue, my favorite adhesive, and center it here. Okay, and then we'll look at it. The glue is forgiving. It gives you a little wiggle room, right? And then the 3 1/4 inch square to go behind that second piece. Okay. All right, and now we can start building it up. Okay, so what you do, it's kind of like a little puzzle, and you kind of match up like this leaf. I see that goes there, and this one goes there. That's pretty good. And there's that flower, but you know what? That's gonna be covered up because I don't want too much of a space there. But what I'm going on is down here, these stems, I'm matching those up. Okay, that's how I'm going to put it. So let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. So, let's see. There's a leaf there. And I'm going with the stems. And I see this little leafy thing coming over the top there. Okay, so that matches up. And so, and this looks pretty good down here. So I'm going with it. Okay, now let's take this one. And I see this little blossom here and this stem. And then when I look over here, I see the stems. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put the glue on it, and then I'm going to be kind of eyeballing it and see where to lay it. So, leaf, leaf, stem. That is pretty good. Okay, so you see there's our triple time stamping. Super easy, but really a dynamic look. So now I have Highland Heather blends, light and dark, and I am going to use the dark on some of the blooms and the light on some of the blooms. So I'm going to do this really quickly. I'm going to do the little flowers and the lighter blooms, and I'm using the bullet tip on this one. The smaller flowers, sometimes the smaller, it's better to use the bullet tip. Matter of personal preference though, y'all. I am no expert at the coloring, but I like it. In fact, I love it. It's very calming to me. So let's see, there's a little right there. Okay, I'm looking, and it doesn't matter. I'm just going to color what I see right off, and then I'm going to go in with my dark. Here's one. Here's one. Okay. Now I'm going to do bullet tip again, I think. And this is the dark. And I'm not doing any shading, okay? I'm just coloring the flowers. I tried to do some parts ahead of time so it wouldn't take so long. This part I couldn't do, so y'all bear with me. I'm going to do it quickly and we'll get moving on. What happens is I'm coloring and then I'll start the greenery and then I'll see a flower that I missed. Do y'all do that? It's like, oops. Okay, I missed some of the flower there. Okay, I think I'm okay. I think I'm going to do this right here. Oh, I got to look down here too. And on the sides. Okay, so now I'm going to take, this is Light Lemon Lolly. And I'm using that, kind of changing up the original card. I used the the heather on these little blooms here, but I decided to go ahead and go with the lemon lolly to give it a little more color. And then the centers of the flowers that are showing. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with light seafoam green. I didn't want a dark green to overbear the flowers. Okay, so this barely shows when it dries, but that's the look I wanted it. But I didn't want to leave the stems naked. You know, I wanted to get them some green on there. I see part of a flower I missed. So I do this really fast. Just to put a little bit of green there, but it's that seafoam is a beautiful, very subtle green. Good for cards like this. And I see another flower. See, I told y'all that would happen. So just kind of quickly going over, dotting these little fern looking things. Stem, leaf. So another way you could color this is if you don't have Stampin' Blends, which are alcohol markers, you could use Stampin' Write markers but stamp it in black StazOn. Y'all know the difference there. The black StazOn is like I forget, it's like an alcohol-based black ink that won't smear with water-based markers or anything you put water on it. Like say you used your watercolor pencils and then you were going to use your blender pens to blend the colors. If you use that with Memento Black, there's another flower, it would smear, chances are. Sometimes it doesn't, but you don't want to take a chance of the black smearing into your flowers. And you can see here with the Memento stamped and then the alcohol-based markers, it is not smearing because you've got alcohol here and water-based in the black there. Hey, Kathy, I thought you'd be watching the Astros game. That's why I thought I didn't hear from you right away. Okay, let's see. I saw flowers, y'all, and now I'm thinking, where were they? I'm not going to be too worried about it. Right here. There was ones right here. Okay, we're going to call that good. I think I forgot these. And there's another little balloon right here. Okay, so we've got that. And now we're going to put that over top. So let's glue that on. Multitasking and packing. Yeah, I did that, Kathy, before I came out here today. I wanted to get all that done. I still have a few things, you know, the last minute things, but for the most part. Okay, isn't that pretty? Okay, so now for the outside, you're going to have this piece of black and white gingham ribbon. And what I did is I took the dark brush tip of the Highland Heather blends and I colored it. So you'll have the black and white. You can leave it black and white, or if you decide to use a different color flower and you want to change that, then you just tie it in a bow. And I've already done that to save a little bit of time. And I put that right there. And then we have a piece of basic white for the inside of the card. Excuse me. And what I did there is I took this big stemmed flower again, this big bunch. I like these because they look like wildflowers. And I just came over here and stamped black and white, left it in black and white. And we'll put that on the inside of our card. So what you think? I want y'all to try that. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, it's fun. It's easy and it packs a punch, right? Okay, here we go. So that's our first card. So I'm going to kind of move things out of the way and get my next card in here. Put this aside, maybe where I can find it later. Envelope. Okay. Oh, thank you, Narisa. Okay, so let's move this. And let me get my next card. So the next card, I'm using the Artistically Inked stamp set. Thank you, Patty. And here is the card. Ooh, isn't that Sweet Sorbet a pretty color? Okay, so let's look at the kit. Put that where I can see it. So we have a Sweet Sorbet base, 5.5 by 8.5. We have a piece of 4 1/4 by 5.5 basic white that you will get so you can stamp and die cut or fussy cut your images. Okay, good, Stacy. Yeah, do that, girl. I have a piece of the Scallop Contours dies cut out of vellum that will be in the packet. A 1/2 by 5.5 inch strip of basic white for the sentiment. This is 4 by 5 1/4, and let me see, what is this texture? Textured paint embossing folder, 3D embossing folder, and then this is for the inside. Okay, so first what we're going to do, we don't want to have too many pieces floating around on my table so I don't lose them. We're going to go ahead and put on a couple of layers. Both sides of this texture piece are beautiful, so it really doesn't matter which side you use. So I did same color cardstock as the top layer. That I don't know, it just adds a little richness to it. And of course, that's the easy way to emboss. You know, you emboss a piece that can go on top. All right. Okay, so now, and then you're going to take this Scallop Contour die. Now, this is in vellum. Now, let's talk about vellum just for a minute. Hey, Debbie, thank you. Glue or adhesive will show through vellum, okay? We know that, right? When it dries, it leaves a blotch. So we want to put the adhesive where it's not going to show. That's the whole trick. You got to cover it up. So we're covering a pretty big space there with these blooms. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it on. Okay. And we'll work the magic when it's time. But see how that is? It's going to show through. Now, sometimes you can find vellum adhesive. I don't have any, but that can work too. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to leave that alone, and we're going to get our piece to stamp and die cut. So I think I'm missing an ink pad here, and maybe even a stamp. So I think I forgot to do the center. Yeah, I didn't forget it. I just forgot to get the stamp out. All right, let's get this big bloom first. And so I'm going to show you how to stamp on this piece of cardstock that you're going to get in the kit. Okay. So I'm going to stamp this one down here. You don't want, if you're going to die cut, you don't want to put the flower too close to the edge. You want to leave room for the die. Okay, so come in a little bit and stamp. Okay. Now, since this is our cling stamps, the red rubber, and it has that padding between that and the actual rubber stamp, you don't really have to have the pad underneath it. Okay. All right, I'm going to put that aside, and then I'm going to get the smaller bloom. And I wanted this, I tried a different color because I wanted a difference between this big one and the smaller one. So what I did, like I have my paper in here, is I inked it up, and then I stamp off, and then I stamp on. And you don't get it too close to the, we see how it's a lighter sorbet. And Debbie, yeah, I agree. This is a beautiful color. It's a pinkish red, right? Beautiful. Okay, so next, okay, I'm going to close this up. I'll use it again in a minute, but let me put it aside. I'm going to do the center of this flower in lemon yellow. I see ink on my hands. Let me get it off. So this is, what did I say, lemon lolly, and I'm going to stamp the center. Okay. I'm going to close this up, put it aside. And then I have these two double leaf mounted, and then the single leaf, and I did it on the same block. And I have Granny Apple Green ink, And I'm going to ink that up. And then I'm going to stamp that up here. So these each have a die too. Okay, there's a die for these two and there's a die for that one. So I'm going to do it like, trying to give myself room between the images. Here we go. Okay, so those should cut out nicely. And you could probably cut all 4 of those at one time. Okay, or you could fussy cut them out, right? Okay, I'm going to close this up. We're going to stamp on the inside layer of the card. So then you would use either your dies, okay? You see how all of these are here? I have my little tape because I cut some earlier, and you match that up. I look for this little V looking thing right here, and that's how I match that up. And then this one, I look for the little curl, the little wrinkles, not wrinkles, but you know, and match it up. And then here's the 2-leaf one. You don't want the tape to get in the way of, and then you would cut them out with one swoop through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, okay? But I've already done that. So here they are. Let's get them out. Okay, so I've got the leaves and the flowers. Oh, I forgot to stamp that center. Let's do that real quick. So this stamp set carried over from the last annual catalog. It's beautiful. Gorgeous, and it's got some beautiful dies too. But this one, I haven't used the big flowers much on anything, so I thought I have got to make a card with that. Okay, so here, you see how you can see that through there? But watch. Okay, so I placed this first. I'm gonna put this like this, and I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment so I can show you that, you know, if you want to help hold this bottom down, if you use like another piece on top of it, that's going to help hold it down as well. So I have Happy Birthday from that stamp set mounted, and I'm using Sweet Sorbet ink. This is just a 1/2 inch strip. I'm going to stamp that. Let's get this out of the way. And let's get this over here. Don't want to lose my leaves. Got ink on my hands. All right. So this, I'm going to cut. Where are my scissors? Okay, they're probably right in front of my face. Oh, I hate it when I do that. I was talking to somebody yesterday about, I think it was my team, and I said, oh my goodness, I can be crafting and there is so much stuff on my desk that I cannot see the forest for the trees. And I don't see my scissors. Okay, do y'all see them? Does anybody see my scissors? Okay. So let me see if I can find something that I can use. Get up. I mean, I just had them. Hello. They will turn up immediately. Yes, it's hot outside, Carol. I know. Bless your heart. Okay, I'm going to have to order some more scissors because I'm using my ribbon scissors. They're somewhere, y'all. I don't know what to do with them. Okay, I'm going to cut off here. Bam. And then here, pretty close to the Y, an angle. Bam. Okay? And then that's going to go down here. And you can go ahead and glue that on like that. You know how to place your leaves and the rest of your items. I can't believe I can't find my scissors. It's going to bug me. Okay, so I'm putting the Happy Birthday, the edge of it, like there's a faux stitching right here on that vellum. All right. And then I'm going to put this flower down, and it kind of overlaps the happy birthday. And I start playing with it kind of like a puzzle. You see how that's covering the glue? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that down. Okay, then I'm going to put this. It's going to kind of overlap the birthday. And you can put it however you want. I'm just trying to get it where the leaves look right. It doesn't cover up my, see some glue down there. There we go. So this one is a little farther over, more toward the center than my other card. Okay. I see some glue down here through the vellum. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. All right. Okay, so next I have this, and I have this on dimensionals, and that's going to go up here with this other leaf tucked beneath it. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that. Oh, my scissors. Okay, and then let's take this piece. So in your packet, you are not going to have embellishments. They're just too hard to pack. So, and they get lost. So you can, if you have embellishments, you can use them on this card like I did on this one. You could use rhinestones or the iridescent. And I'm going to play with this a minute here. Let's see. These are the iridescent rhinestones. I'm going to put one right there over that glue. And I'm going to come here and here. Okay, that's the outside of our card complete. Now, I want to do the inside. So here's our other piece of 5 1/4. And I'm going to get my ink back in here. And show you what I did. See how I put that in the corner? All right. So let's get the big bloom. Okay. And then the little center with lemon lolly. All right, and then ink on my hand. This is Granny Apple Green, and I took the little leaf off so I wouldn't get it in the middle of the bloom. I'm putting one there, and let me clean this. And then one, where's that little leaf? Here it is. One here. Okay, so no techniques on this one, just an easy card that, you know, that the blooms really take center stage. That's going to see how pretty that looks on the inside with that flower stamp there, and that gives you plenty of room to write your birthday message. Okay. All right. There is our second card. Okay. All right. Let me get some of this out of the way so I can get started on the next one. So while I'm cleaning up and changing changing of the guard here. I will tell you, that as a demonstrator, we were able to see the mini catalog, the new one, what I like to call the holiday. And it's pretty awesome. But, I don't have anything yet. But what I wanted to tell you, if you have ordered from me within the last 6 months, you are automatically getting a catalog in the mail. Okay. And those will be mailed about mid-month. That is artistically inked, Carol. Artistically inked. It's not a bundle anymore. The dies are separate. This is from last year, so don't look at that. So, anyway, if you don't have a relationship with another demonstrator and would like for me to send you a catalog, you need to email me at lisa@inkandinspirations.com or leave a comment or send me a private message on Facebook, however you'd like to do it, with your name and your good mailing address, and I will get a catalog in the mail to you when I get those, probably mid-month. Okay, green apple green. Okay, so I had to get that ink put up so I wouldn't make a mess. So as I'm changing, I'm kind of looking for my scissors. kind of. That is craziness. Okay, I'm trying to get some of this out of the way here. And we're going to use the Just My Type. So here's the stamp set. Super cute. Thank you, Nan. Okay, I've got some of the items done here. So here is the card. Isn't that cute? Don't you love that little typewriter? And look at the little paper clip. I have this on there to remind me what to do on the inside. But I put a little typewriter on the inside too. And look at the little paper clips. So cute. All right. So I'm going to get all my stamps out. And my ink. And the kit. And the scissors will turn up one of these days. Now I even have a big beaded thing hanging on the end of it so I can find them, so they don't get lost. Now, go figure, huh? Okay. So let's get the packet out. All right. We have crushed curry card base, 5.5 by 8.5. Then you'll get a piece of linen thread and the double border, what's this called? Bordered ribbon, Night of Navy bordered ribbon, okay, for your little accent piece. You have this piece of Night of Navy cut 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and that is run through the Stamping Cotton Emboss machine with the time-worn type embossing folder. This is a crushed curry print from the Delightfully Eclectic stamp set, that big stack of paper, 12 by 12 paper. And when in your kit, you may get this print or you may get another crushed curry print, because I like to make use of my paper, but it'll be crushed curry, okay, in a very similar print. Okay. And then I have a scrap of crushed curry. Actually, that doesn't even look like it is, though. Crushed curry. And then 2 pieces of 4 by 5 1/4 basic white, one for the inside and one to stamp and cut out on. And this is another piece of that Delightfully Eclectic. I thought it was really cute. They have a lot of ruled sheets in that paper stack, and so I'm using those on these cards. Okay, so that's 3 by 4, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, let's get going here. So first, I'm going to go ahead and put my designer paper on the front of the card. So I'm going to take my bone folder, and I have 3 of those just in case I lose them. Oh, how did my light go off? Okay, hang on. There we go. That was weird. I must have hit it. Okay, so now we're going to take this piece and put it over top. See that pretty floral on the back? That goes over top. Okay, and now we're going to work on some stamping. Okay, so I'm going to take one of the 4 by 5 1/4 pieces, and first, and I'm using Night of Navy ink for most everything. There's a little bit of crushed curry, but for most of the main images, they are Night of Navy. So let me get my foam mat, because these are photopolymer, so you need some kind of a padding underneath. And I'm going to ink this up. Check my coverage on the back. And stamp. Now this is going to be, oh, it's not all inked up. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to take the little daisy, and I'm going to ink that in Night of Navy. And these will be fussy cut as well. Now I've already cut these out, so you don't have to sit through that. But I wanted to show you that those centers of the flowers, I'm going to use my blends. Now this is water-based. This is alcohol, okay? But sometimes that even will smear our inks. So you can emboss it, but if you're real careful, this is Dark Daffodil Delight, yeah. I'm coloring the centers, and I'm trying not to pull on color over any of that Night of Navy, okay? Okay, so then I have, oh, the paper. So I have the sheet of paper with the little folded down corner. I think it's so cute. Now when I stamp this, I'm leaving enough room underneath because I cut it a little bit longer when I cut it out, okay? Okay, and then this is going to say, for you. I shouldn't have closed this up yet. For you. Got it mounted there. And it looks like it's been typed with a typewriter. So cute. I'm going to stamp that in the center. Okay, and then we'll do the paper clips after we get it assembled. So, let's see. I hate that I don't have my scissors, y'all. Okay, I'm going to look over here. Okay, I'm just going to have to use my ribbon scissors, which is a no-no, but these paper snips cut this better. So, yeah, that's a good excuse to order another pair of scissors, right? Okay. After I get off and then the video's over, they will be in such a place that I should have seen it all along. Okay. Okay, so this is an easy cutout. That's why I didn't do ahead of time. So see how I'm moving my paper and not so much my scissors. Cut, turn. And I'm cutting pretty close to the edge here. I love these solid stamped images like this. They're so bold and easy. Okay, so there's that. So now this, remember I said I was going to cut it a little longer here at the bottom. So I'm going to cut that. And then I'm going to show you some something else too, because I cut it a little bit narrow, more narrow than. I just want to have enough to glue behind the typewriter, okay? And I would cut these out too, but I've already cut some out, so I'm going to save those. So I'm going to come in just a bit like this and like this. And then I'm going to glue that behind the typewriter, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. So I can put the glue on this side. Take it, look at the typewriter, and then position your little sheet. Bring it down some. I like it like that. Okay. Okay, then we have this little scrap of crushed curry. I'll get it out in a minute. And that I'm using the little, putting the little envelope. Oops, that wasn't dark enough. There we go. Now we're going to cut this out. Easy cutting. And I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of this so it'll stand out a little bit on the card. So let me grab that so I don't forget. Okay, so that's going to be ready to go. So now let's start putting our card together. And then I'm going to stamp the little paper clips in a bit. Here's my paper. And so I decided I wanted to not square it up. I thought it would look cute just with angled layers, which is a fun little technique of mine that I like to do. I say it's not my technique. It's something I like to do on many cards. And I think since we're dealing with a typewriter and paper, it's like, you know, some sheets thrown down on the desk. Okay, so about like that. You don't want your corners to extend beyond the designer paper. Okay, and then we're going to get my sheet and go the opposite way. And I kind of put this little point up at the edge there, and you see that makes it match down here a little bit. Doesn't go below the edge here. Okay, so let me put that on, and then I'll see if I can position it like that. Okay, so let me do it again here. There, the point at the top, angle, 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 about like that. Okay, and it doesn't have, I don't want it like on top of the blue at the top. Here it extends beyond it, but you do it how you want, okay? Now I'm getting a little glue in these corners so they don't get pulled up. Okay, so now we have our typewriter that's going to go right there, and I'm going to glue that straight down. And it's closer to the top than the bottom because I've got all this other things going on down here, okay? So just move it closer toward the top than the bottom of your ruled sheet. And I keep it like straight, like I don't angle this too. So if this is angled, I'm angling the typewriter too. Not if it's angled, it is angled, okay? And then I'm going to, do I want to put the daisies next? I think I do. So I have these cut out, and one of them has a little mini Stampin' Dimensional on the back because it's popped up a little bit. But one of these goes here. And then another one. I just kind of cluster them, so just however you think it looks good, okay? One goes here. And then, here it is. This one goes right here. See how cute? Okay, so now I'm going to do the paper clips. So when I was designing the card, the paper clips were an afterthought. Okay, so I did it after like everything was glued on. I thought I need those paper clips. Okay, and so I just wanted to look like they were thrown down on the desk. I mean, I know this is a sheet of paper, but you know what I mean. So I kind of just angled them different ways. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness, I'm getting ink everywhere. I gotta clean my hand, y'all. Okay, so this has that little that Stampin' Dimensional on the back, and so I'm putting that right there. Okay, then I have that ribbon. What you do is you fold it in half, and you can put a glue dot or some kind of adhesive in the middle so that you can tie a bow around here. Tie a knot first and then tie your bow. I just wanted to save a little time, so I already have mine done. And then that goes, it's a different kind of a ribbon treatment than tying a bow all the time, and I thought it went well with this card theme. And this is a little big, so I'm going to cut it. Okay, like that. So now let me show you what I'm going to do on the inside of the card. Here's my basic white for the inside. Okay, I'm going to, what did I put on the inside of this card? I think I put high. I forgot to mount that too. Okay, so I'm inking up the typewriter again. And ideally, y'all, when you're doing your stamping and you have these ink pads open, go ahead and do all your stamping. I was trying to do it in a procedural way. Thank you, Pam and Kathy. I thought it was so cute. Okay, so I'm not putting the whole typewriter on the paper. I'm coming off about 2 rows of keys. Bam. Then I'm going to take a Post-it note, and I'm going to line it up with these 2 top pieces right there, whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called. Where I can still see them just a little bit, okay? Then I'm going to take my paper again, ink it up, and then kind of line it up with those 2 little knobbies there that were sticking up and stamp. See, there's your paper coming up from the typewriter. Then I want to put hi, or you could put thank you. Okay. Let's see. Let me get this paper clip off. And ink up high. Okay. So now I'm closing this before I make a mess. Let's get this. And put it inside the card. Okay, where's my glue? And there is the last card. Okay, let me see if I can find all of my cards now so I can show you. All right, where's that card? Where's the card? Here we go. Okay, these are our 3 cards for our August class. Thank you, Dottie. How are you doing? Thank you, Narisa. Thanks, Karen. So just, you know, if you are wanting the card kit sent to you, I can send them to you If you go to my online store, use the host code that's on the screen, place a $45 minimum order, and I'll be happy to send these in the mail. But you know how to make these cards now, and if you have the supplies, you can do it at home. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here with me this evening. So much fun, so much fun. And if I find my scissors, I'm going to take a picture of where they are so you can see where I have found them. It's probably going to be a crazy place. So anyway, thank you so much. And be sure and tune in. There's going to be a video that goes, it's a premiere on YouTube, and it will be posted at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. I'm making another card with the Just My typeset. Okay, it's a pre-recorded video. So be sure you tune in and watch. And thank you so much for being here. And until next time, make a card, send that card, and make a difference. Y'all have a great evening. Take care. Bye-bye.